Less than one day after being arraigned yet again, many people are wondering, what is Donald Trump's legal strategy going to be with this January 6th case? Well, he apparently has come up with something, and it's a sophisticated strategy. It's a plea to the Supreme Court to please help me.
Buckle up, guys. This is going to be a long one. What's happening, Trump fans? It's me, JP, back again to debunk these liberal lunatics, the Young Turks. As you know, if you've been with me a while, you might already know I can't stand these people. All they do is lie and spread fake news. So anyhow, I might edit in some videos as we go along to do some debunking, but I'm going to give you my political commentary and my perspective as we do it. I'm going to mix the two styles, of the old style and the new style together. Let's get it going. Oh, and by the way, I look this way because there's a bigger screen sitting here. Now, I know the camera's here, but I look this way to look at the bigger screen. I'm getting old and my eyes are no good. Are not as good as they used to be.
Some of them are long, I apologize, but he says crazy. My political opponent has hit me with a barrage of weak lawsuits, including DA, AG, and other combinations of letters, which require
I'm willing to bet that John Dumbass here doesn't know that DA and AG stands for District Attorney and Attorney General.
Amounts of my time and money to adjudicate. Resources that would have gone into ads and capital R rallies will now have to be spent fighting these radical left thugs in numerous courts throughout the country. I am leading in all capital P polls, including against Crooked Joe, but this is not a level playing field. It is election interference, and the Supreme Court must intercede. MAGA.
Who thought that impersonation of Donald Trump was any good? He is stupid. This guy is literally stuck on stupid. He's not an entertainer. He's not an impressionist.
Say, that's just something he threw into a bleed. It doesn't mean anything. And the second half of that is definitely true. But no, it's popping up in more of them. So in this next one, you can see that because they're filing the cases must be unconstitutional. Is that a rhetorical question or? I don't know. See, the thing is, the Constitution is not as long as maybe he thinks, having not read it before. I don't think.
How the hell you know what he's read and he hasn't read? You don't know what he's read and what he hasn't read.
There's anything in there that says that you can't be charged with any crimes. And then
remember, these are the people who said that Donald Trump was not running for president. These are the same people who said this was a publicity stunt and he was never truly going to run. That it was all just a hoax, that he was going to doing this to promote his brand, to get his name out there.
Brace yourselves, Donald Trump is running for president.
Yeah, so now he's running for president. He's going to affect other people in the race. Is he being earnest in this run? I don't think so at all. No. And it's a moment of pomposity and to, of course, pump up his own name. This is part of how he builds his name. But the more your name is mentioned, the better it is in this insane world that we live in.
Yeah.
And then when, after a couple of months, when Trump was really, really winning and he was picking up some steam and leading in the polls, they switched to, oh, he doesn't never have a chance to win. He doesn't have a snowball's chance to win. And then when he became the Republican nominee, oh, Hillary Clinton's going to beat him like a drum. They've never been right about anything. And immediately after the election, they jumped on this Russia horse shit. They're batting 1,000 by wrong on Trump.
And you can go to this last one, and again, it's him complaining about the fact that these should have been filed a couple of years ago when he would have been totally fine with it, of course. And says,
no, that's not what he says. He didn't say that he'd be fine with it. What he says, I'm not going to let him get away with lying. What he says was that if the charges were so important, why weren't they filed a couple of years ago?
Not fair and perhaps not legal. Again, the you sue me, no, I sue you defense, I guess, is what he's going with. But I don't know exactly what the Supreme Court is supposed to do. They don't generally.
He tried to make it like Trump was begging, please, Supreme Court, step in and save me. Did that tweet or did that truther or whatever Trump calls it sound like Trump was begging? No, it said the Supreme Court must intercede. It doesn't say he would please, 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 like he tried to portray, because he's a lying, fake news libtard.
Really step into presidential elections other than 2000. But as of right now, they're not answering. The CNBC asked for comment. They didn't say anything. The Trump campaign spokesperson that was asked didn't say anything, probably because this is just a thing that he came up with, and now he's just saying it all day long. But his lawyers are like, what are you talking?
He put it out on one Truth Social message, and now they're saying he said it all day long.
Talking about the Supreme Court takes things up on appeal. There's no case. How would this work?
Yeah.
The Supreme Court steps in and handles stuff all the time. They stepped in on the 2020 election and said that Pennsylvania has to do something with the. I don't remember exactly what it was that they had to. They had to. Justice Alito stepped in and said that Pennsylvania had to shut down their ballots or something early. So this is not nothing new. The Supreme Court does step in and do things.
The other development is from the Supreme Court, Victor, and this is an order from Justice Alito mandating that Pennsylvania, all the ballots received after 8 p.m. on Election Day be segregated and secured, and, quote, all such ballots, if counted, be counted separately. There is a petition on the merits still pending before SCOTUS. Justice Alito has ordered the opposing side, the Democrats, to file a response by 2 p.m. tomorrow. This is the Supreme Court taking action.
So look, guys, of course I'm going to make fun of, we're all going to make fun of Donald Trump.
And I'm going to make fun of you.
I can't believe he was president, doesn't know one thing about our system of government. Like,
Hey, he won his election. You got 5% of the vote and come in, what, 5th place? So let's don't throw stones in your libtard glass house.
not one thing. It's amazing. It's amazing. But there are two twists in the story. One is there's something that Trump said that I agree with. Ooh, twist. And second of all, MAGA should be excited about this indictment, and it turns out they are. Okay, hold for those.
Where did he get that information from? Nobody's excited about these indictments. It's definitely political interference is what it is. It's from a biased prosecutor, a biased Justice Department. It's cheating is what it is.
But first, let's address the core issue here. Is the Supreme Court should take this up? How? How would they take it up? Like, there is no such thing as a case has not happened yet, and the Supreme Court's like, and it has not been appealed to the Supreme Court. It has not been addressed to the Supreme Court. No one has brought it to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court's like, that case, we don't like it. That's not a thing. It's like.
He just got done saying that Donald Trump was stupid and didn't know anything. And he doesn't know jack shit himself. This is a stupid human being. Who was the 5% that voted for this guy? I'd like to say, who was the 5% that voted for this dumb ass human being right here? This guy is stupid. Watch this shit.
There is no such thing as a case has not happened yet, and the Supreme Court's like, and it has not been appealed to the Supreme Court.
Hold it now. Hold it now. Hold it now. Hold it now. Hold it now.
Like, there is no such thing as a case has not happened yet, and the Supreme Court's like, and it has not been appealed to the Supreme Court.
And now to the Biden administration and the maker of a widely used abortion pill. They've asked the Supreme Court to intervene in the legal battle over access to this drug.
The Biden administration will ask the Supreme Court to reinstate the president's student loan forgiveness program.
Former President Trump is asking the Supreme Court to intervene in the legal battle over top secret documents that federal agents seized at Mar-a-Lago.
Now, those were just a few examples that I put together in 5-10 minutes. The fact that he doesn't know that the Supreme Court can intervene on certain matters is hilarious. He thinks he knows everything. He is one of the most dishonest or just flat out dumb human beings I have ever seen in my life. Him and Baldy, Farron cousins, are on a level of stupid that's unprecedented.
How can I explain to people who don't understand our system of government? Not a thing. That's like saying, why hasn't Peter Pan ruled on this yet? This is outrageous. He can just fly over and go, ba-ding, and the case is over. That's not a thing. It's not you have to go through the trial. It has to be appealed. And
Wrong. Wrong.
he just has no idea how our court system works at all. It's stunning. It's stunning. Now, having said that, you know, part of the reason I tweet, don't tell the guys on Twitter, okay, or on X, okay, so it's because I want to see the people's reaction. And unfortunately, this confirms for me what I've been seeing with a lot of folks in MAGA. They not only do they also not understand how the Supreme Court works, but they feel super offended when we point out how it actually works to Donald Trump. And they
You are stupid.
feel like they're getting called dumb. But brothers and sisters, you weren't president for 4 years, okay? You know, you're a dentist and you don't know how the Supreme Court works. God bless your heart, you know how teeth work, okay? You're an accountant.
He doesn't know. I'm just gonna let it play. I'm just gonna let it play. This is a dumb ass moron.
You're a plumber, it's okay, it's okay. But he was president for 4 years. He's supposed to know how the Supreme Court works, and he doesn't have a single clue. And forget the fact that he's deeply unintelligent. I mean, it's shocking how unintelligent he is.
Yet Donald Trump was president. You can't even win a congressional district, and you sunk Soros type money into it. You couldn't get 5%, 5% of the vote in a heavily Democrat district in California.
But forget that. Say that he's brilliant. I don't care. Think about how lazy he is. That he didn't bother figuring. He put 3 people on the Supreme Court and he doesn't have one clue as to how it works. How lazy do you have to be that you're president of the United States?
You guys do know that I haven't seen this video yet. I am watching this in real time for the first time that you are, if you haven't seen it yet. I had no idea. Now, I went back and edited in the examples, but I haven't seen this far. I'm cutting and chopping as I go.
You didn't ask a single person, hey, how does a case go to the Supreme Court? That's just unbelievable. But if you still like that, there's nothing I can do to help you, Moss.
Well, I'm going to come back and make a part 2. This is already too long, and I know it's probably going to get boring when you go on for 15, 20 minutes and all that. So I'm going to make a part 2. Right now, let's end it right here and just say that Cenk is one of the dumbest human beings on the face of the earth, and I'm pretty sure that you will agree with, I just absolutely humiliated him.
You can just fly over and go, ba-ding, and the case is over. That's not a thing. It's not a, you have to go through the trial. It has to be appealed.
The Supreme Court is intervening in a case involving Illinois' assault weapons ban. Justice Amy Coney Barrett requested further response from the city of Naperville for their recently passed ban that does prohibit the sale of AR-15s.
No shit.